Dr. Jaffe, can you please describe the benefits and if there are any concerns while using PERQ Lifeguard during pregnancy and or during breastfeeding, lactation?
Well, first of all, contrasting Lifeguard with almost every other supplement, we are full disclosure. So you see everything that's in the product. And if you look one at a time at all 40 nutrients, you find they are helpful in pregnancy, they are needed in lactation or breastfeeding. No, we didn't do a study with the FDA so that we could make a claim of having a prenatal supplement. It turns out today that if you want to get an approval from FDA, you will have a very deficient, from my point of view, from my functional point of view, you will have a deficient formula. Or you will spend a very long time convincing the FDA that it should have a different point of view. The FDA regulates very well certain issues. FDA does not address nutritional or the totality of a formula. But I want you to know that my wife, during her pregnancy and during breastfeeding, which went on for a long time with our kids, but that's another story, Lifeguard was essential. You keep your urine sunshine yellow so that you and the developing fetus, you and the baby, can both get. Because as you know, mom sacrifices if necessary to give to the baby. So mom needs more of the essential nutrients, and Lifeguard is balanced, Lifeguard is complete, Lifeguard actually qualifies as, but cannot claim to be, a prenatal for technical reasons. But I want you to know that at least in my family and the families that I have followed intensively through pregnancy and lactation, breastfeeding, they have all benefited from Lifeguard, and we have no reason, none, as in no reason at all, to be concerned about the nutrients that are in the formula, because we make sure there are no contaminants. We make sure there are no hidden ingredients. We make sure there's nothing that interferes with bioavailability or digestibility. In fact, we have both Lifeguard and Lifeguard Mini because very often people are more than satisfied. They have more than what they need with Lifeguard Mini, which is half the dose of the Lifeguard Maxi. So if you need a full dose, you should take the full dose. Keep your urine sunshine yellow. If you can get by with the minimum or the mini Lifeguard, use that. Very often women will find that when they're nursing, they actually benefit from the full formula because they're giving to 2 or 3. So my view is very simple. Lifeguard is indicated in pregnancy. Lifeguard is indicated in gestation and lactation. And you should rest assured that everything in Lifeguard is beneficial to the pregnant woman and to the developing fetus, baby. So I've said it several times because I want to be very clear. We cannot make a claim that this is a prenatal because we haven't done the proper regulatory studies. But we would qualify if we took the time and effort to do that. That may sound like an ambiguous answer, but I want you to know it is safe. I want you to know it is effective. I also want you to know that it doesn't make a claim of any kind that it can't sustain and support. But in this case, the rules for claiming a prenatal are very specific and expensive because the companies that make prenatals don't want other companies making prenatals. And I've looked at what we would have to invest, in dollar resources and human resources to be able to say Lifeguard works in pregnancy and during breastfeeding would be so onerous, that means burdensome, that means expensive, that the cost of the product would go up dramatically. It would be the same product, but we'd have to amortize the cost of getting the permission to make the claim. And I consider the value proposition. Of course, I'm concerned about cost, but I'm much more concerned about how much value we pack into every product, especially the Lifeguard. And I want you to know, their full disclosure, I want you to know that my family considers them prenatal and for breastfeeding. And so do most of the people that have been guided by me. Have we had over the 30 or 40 years any indication of problems with Lifeguard? No. No. We do emphasize that you should take Lifeguard with food. It should not be taken on an empty stomach. You shouldn't just throw some toast and coffee in and take Lifeguard, because it's so powerful, it's so potent, that you really need food to help disperse it so that it can get into you efficiently. We say this on the label, take with food. We mean that. We don't just say it gratuitously. We try to inform and instruct. We try to provide information and inspiration. I'm glad you're asking the question, and I want you to know the answer.